What if I told you you can build $1 million business and do it in 12 months? Would you believe me? That's exactly what we're doing each and every day. So let me make sure let's get Insty on here. Let's get Insty on here. Okay, we good. We in that thing. We live. We live. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. What if I told you you can build $1 million business and you can do it in 12 months? Would you believe me if I told you it's possible? Well, it is. And guess what we're doing? Each and every day, we're going behind the scenes to show you just how we're making that thing happen. Listen, I'm Patrick Hart, known as that healthcare guy across social media. Army veteran, spent 6 years in the military, transitioned, had a full-time healthcare career, spent over 15 years in healthcare, became an executive of a technology company, sold that company at the end of 2018. And in 2023, I became a full-time entrepreneur. Since then, I've been on this mission about growth and impact. The impact we're making this year, we're changing people's lives. We're building $1 million business and we're doing it in public. There's no secret sauce. There's no specialty formula. There's no secret AI agents that's helping behind the scenes. We're building this baby up from scratch. Real human, real live entrepreneurship brought to you real on the screen. How are we going to do this? I can only do this with the help of your support, right? And so we have two goals this year. And one, our platform is a newsletter. We're growing a newsletter to $1 million. So the first goal is to generate $1 million in revenue in 2026. The second goal is to build a newsletter up to 50,000 subscribers, right? The $1 million is to show you that through purposeful action, we can build our $1 million ecosystem and engine, right? The 50,000 subscribers is to create an ecosystem that no matter what happens to the algorithms, we got a built-in base of supporters, people who rock with us, people who are ready to grow with us, and people who can have an impact with. So thank you for joining. Again, I'm Patrick Hart. Where are we streaming today? Listen, we're going to be streaming across Instagram. We're going to be streaming across LinkedIn. We're streaming across Facebook. We're streaming across YouTube. And we're streaming across TikTok. So welcome and thank you, family. I'm known as Patrick Hart, that healthcare guy. What are we talking about today? Listen, this episode is about leverage. We're not just borrowing audiences. We're borrowing trust. When someone respected shows up in your ecosystem, they transfer credibility faster than 100 solo posts ever could. So today's topic is about guest articles and partnerships in action. Let me make sure my chat boxes are going to be open really quick. All right, chat box. We got LinkedIn is open, Facebook is open, Instagram, TikTok, all that is open right now. So we're good. So what does that mean to you? Guys, this is live. And when you're doing live, mistakes happen. But when you're doing live, people chime in because they got thoughts, they got comments, they have questions. With that being said, chat box is always open. Even though I have some agenda items that I generally run through, always leave space to answer questions, right? Or try to address questions as they come in. If you're here, this is your first time here. Today's episode is episode 24. 24 already. Listen, really, this is only the 12th of February, right? So we're 45 days into the year, whatever. I mean, yeah, something around 40 days into the year. And we already got 23 or 20, getting ready to be 24 episodes already recorded. If this is your first time here and you're like, well, what is this about? We're building $1 million business and we're doing it in public. I'm not doing it by myself. I'm doing it through your help as well. What have you missed? You've missed 23 other dope episodes. They're action-packed, full of valuable information designed to help you build the foundation that you need and the growth system to help you get to $1 million in revenue for your own personal business as well. If your first time joining, you haven't signed up for the newsletter, first thing, my call to action for you, sign up for the newsletter. We're growing that baby to 50,000 people. Already, we have a little shy under than 6,000 already and in a short period of time. So that means it's great. The value is there. People are resonating with the message. And here's the other thing. With the newsletter, I'm already getting over a 45% open rate. So that means every time I send out an email, over 50% are open at. I can help you with those same stats as well. If you want to follow along, you want to build your own newsletter while we're building this out as well, go to my link into my bio. You click on that, sign up for the newsletter. And then below that is going to be where you can build your own newsletter as well. I'll put a link in there where you can save yourself some money on building your own newsletter through the platform that I'm using as well. So once again, comment section is going to be open. Today's topic is about guest articles and partnerships in action. You need to understand how you can amplify your reach, your message, your trust, and your credibility through effective partnerships. So pause really quick. Thank everybody for joining. I see TikTok is coming in. So thank you, TikTok. I see you coming in there. LinkedIn has already popped in here. That's what's up, family. I see you. Thank you for joining. LinkedIn is there. Thank you, family. YouTube is there. Thank you, family. And then my Facebook, they be lagging behind. But what I've seen on Facebook, they're always the ones that come back after the fact, and I always watch every single episode. So I appreciate the love that I've been getting from Facebook. Listen, today we're talking about guest articles and partnerships in action. So let's get to it. As you know, we're going to get right into the topics. It's going to be live. Questions is going to be there. So if you haven't, get to it. So let's talk about the real reason partnerships matter. Okay. If you're building anything, any kind of business you're going to build, this is why partnerships matter. I want this one to land. I want this to hit you right in the stomach. Let it sit there, right there in the chest, kind of like an indica. Like you kind of feel warm and fuzzy. Let me hit you with this. Growth alone is linear, right? So a lot of people are like, oh, I'm a solopreneur. That's dope. That's great. But nobody wants to be a solopreneur. Nobody signs up to be. You want assistance. You want some type of support. You want some type of a growth system, right? Growth alone is linear, but growth with relationships is exponential. What does that mean? You can grow greater than just doing it by yourself, right? Your network becomes your distribution system. Your collaborators become your proof. People, they don't just trust what you say about yourself. They trust who stands next to you. That's the real reason why partnerships are so valuable. Really quick, if this is your first time here, thank you for coming. If you're a repeat customer, right, you're a repeat viewer, thank you for coming back. My call to action for you, invite other people to this. I like-minded individuals like yourself. Those are the everyday hustlers. Those are the dreamers. Those are the people, the mid-level professionals looking to move their career to another level. These are the small business owners, the entrepreneurs. They're tired of hustling and they're looking for a strategic playbook and a system to help them get their million. You're in the right place. Thank you for joining. Invite other people to these. I do these every day at noon. They're only 30-minute segments. We're on episode 24. So there's 23 other episodes. Go to the link in my bio. Go to my YouTube page. I created a playlist called Building a $1 Million Business. You can run through those. They're only 30-minute segments. So it's good Netflix and chill type episodes, really. So right now we're talking about guest articles and partnerships in action. Really, our platform, we're building our $1 million is through a newsletter. Already, we already have close to 6,000 people that have signed up for that in less than 30 days. So that baby's growing nicely, right? So why guest articles? Why should you consider this if you're growing your newsletter, right? Thank you, Gerald. I'll see you, family. I appreciate the love. Appreciate the roses as well, man. You're showing love today, dog. I'm loving it, man. I'm feeling the energy. That's what's up. So why guest articles? Because they're more than just content, right? Like I want you to shift your thought process away from free content, okay? Because that's not what we're doing. We don't give away free content. Nothing is really ever free in life. Guest articles are about positioning assets, right? And I'm gonna talk about my strategy here in a minute, right? So this is what they signal to people who frequent your newsletter, right? Or your business, your website, your storefront, whatever. If you had guests part of the equation, they signal these things that you may have not picked up on yet. They signal that you're connected, meaning you're no longer siloed. You're a connected individual. You're a game changer. You're somebody who networks with game changers within a community. So that means you're connected. It also signals that you're respected, which is so important because we want to gain trust whenever we're building anything up from the ground up. People need to trust you, right? The other thing too, you become a hub. You're no longer just the creator. You're the focal point for all these dope people around you where they want to tap into and share information, and then other people tap into that source. You become the trusted source of information. The other thing too, a newsletter with only your voice, you know what that is? It's just a platform, right? Which is dope. A lot of people are saying, okay, that's all I want. I just want a platform. That's dope. But if we're growing to $1 million business, there's something else we need. We need a business front. We need a newsletter that has multiple experts in it. And what do you get from that? You build an ecosystem. And that's what we're building here at Hustling 25/8. That's the name of the newsletter. It's called Hustling 25/8. Sign up for that today if you haven't already. There's a link in my bio on a top right-hand corner of the screen. There's going to be a QR code or a picture. You can tap on that. You can sign up for the newsletter. Make sure you go to my playlist on YouTube called Building a $1 Million Business. You can watch the other 23 episodes. And the other thing, invite people to this, man. I'm doing this Monday through Friday. They're only 30-minute episodes. They're designed to help you grow your personal wealth so you can help yourself reach your own $1 million as well, whether that's through career hustling, right, elevation, or you're a small business owner, entrepreneur, you're looking to grow wealth through your business. That's what this platform is for. So let's talk about the psychological effect on readers, okay? Everything is psychology when it comes to sales. When you're growing something from the ground up, you got to tap into the psychological thought process of the people who may rock with you, who follow you, who may frequent your pages, your website, or your business front. When readers see multiple credible voices within a single publication, they subconsciously perceive the platform as more credible than what you may have believed that it was, right? So this is why we want to think about our strategy of having guest appearances on within your content. Maybe you got a menu and you got some other guests that create some of these dope dishes and you're featuring them on that menu as well. Say, hey, here's Pat Hart. He also does, he does barbecue, smoked barbecue on the side. Here's his menu, but you're featuring other people. Now you become the hub and people begin to trust you more because you're connected. You see what I'm saying? Here's the other psychology thing, the psychological effect that happens. It stops feeling like a personal blog, right? Personal blog just feel like, somebody wakes up in the middle of the night, they're sitting with a pillow, warm cup of coffee, and then they're just writing this blog to people. That's great. You know what I'm saying? What's positive bad? But we're building a business. We're building an ecosystem. So what we're starting to, when we want the feeling of like we become an industry resource, right? We're becoming an industry resource. So that's what's happened. That dramatically increases your retention of your viewers. The longer that people stay on your site, your website, the more value is perceived in their mind and the more chances you have of starting to sell them something of value or something that you want to sell them. So remember, it's about retention, right? If you want to sell somebody something, you have to retain them long enough to understand the value that you, your audience, or your website brings to the table. So that's why today we're going after having guest articles. We want to have those people part of our ecosystem. Here's a hidden benefit you need to be aware of. Let me pause really quick. Thank you guys for joining because I see more and more people joining. You guys continue to rock and show love. I'm seeing the coins, the roses, all this good stuff. Thank you, family. I appreciate that. We're streaming today on LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, and well as TikTok. Chat boxes are always open. I appreciate, you got the hat on me, dog. I'll take it. And we're streaming across TikTok as well. And TikTok is new for me. I've only been using it for like 6 months. So I rock with my family there. So appreciate you guys. Listen, here's a hidden benefit that if you have like guest articles in your newsletter, on your website, whatever, right? You become authority by curation, right? What does that mean? You don't just gain authority by teaching. You gain authority by selecting who teaches, right? Curators are trusted faster than creators because they filter noise. What do they filter? They're filtering the noise that actually reaches your design audience, right? I'm not just putting anybody on my website for you to read about. I'm putting dope people, dope individuals who've been through some things, who's accomplished some things, who have frameworks and playbooks behind themselves where they can teach you as well, right? So if you haven't signed up for the newsletter, sign up for the newsletter ASAP. You can go to my guest article section, and then you'll start seeing more and more guest features that's going to be in there. So let's talk about my particular guest article strategy, and then maybe you can equate it to yourself. Who do I actually want as far as guest features? I'm not looking for popularity. I don't need somebody that has hundreds of thousands of followers. That's not what it's about, right? I already have a book of lined up people already that's already ready in line, ready for their guest features, right? That I haven't put on the page yet. But I have to make sure there's more guest features that continue to feed in on a weekly basis. So who am I looking for? It's not about popularity for me. I'm looking for specificity. I'm looking specifically for certain people that do certain things, right? The best guests, you know who they are? They're people who have done one thing very well. Like they have deep insight and deep knowledge in doing that one particular thing. They've also solved clear problems before. Most of us, when we're building something, we're building our business, we're building our careers, we have stumbling blocks, we have pitfalls, we have those roadblocks that prevent us from moving forward. These people that come to the table, been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? I got a cape. I got a cape that I can wear, and I have stories that I can share. So I'm looking for those people. I'm looking for people who can explain what they do and the outcome simply, right? Experts who teach frameworks, outperform influencers who tell stories. So if you're just one of those people, you're thinking, okay, I want to grow my business, but I need to tell stories, which we know stories actually sell. You should consider collaborating with some great thought leaders, whether they're creators themselves, but these are people who have industry knowledge and insight that's designed to help your knowledge not only see themselves, but grow themselves as well. Okay, I want to understand that. Chat box is going to be open. Your first time here, I will say thank you for joining. Hey, share this with other people. I do these every day. They're noon Central Standard Time. The only 30-minute segment, and each segment is designed to give you information and insight in how to grow your brand, your visibility, as well as your business. Okay, so thank you guys for joining. Let's talk about the strategic relationship building really quick, because everything needs to be strategic. The invitation itself starts as a relationship accelerator. So when you invite somebody to collaborate, to be a guest feature on your newsletter, right? What that does is becomes a relationship accelerator, meaning you're accelerating the relationship between you and that person. This is a strategy you should consider for yourself. Instead of asking someone for their time, right? We're not asking people for your time. We're offering them a platform, which is even doper. It's more dope. I think that's the word, but I'm saying it's doper, right? It's doper. If you're not, I'm not asking anybody for their time. I'm offering them a platform, which is going to accelerate relationship that now we have together. And you know what you're doing? You're giving before you're asking for anything. That changes the dynamic of your relationship permanently, right? And I'm going to talk about that. There's this long-term positioning effect you need to know. Today, you offer somebody a guest feature in one of your articles, right? Again, it doesn't have to be a newsletter. It can be your website. It can be whatever you're doing. But we're having guest features, guest collaborators, things like that. They write an article, they tell a story, whatever. Later, you know what happens with that relationship? They open doors for you. And then those doors become partnership starts forming. Then it ends to endless opportunities. I mean, these opportunities start coming from yourself. So when you're growing anything, it's okay to think about, okay, my revenue engine, I want to, grow to $1 million, but you have to think about how you want to get there. Growth normally comes down to strategy. What strategy are you using to help you get there? The strategy that we're going to adopt today is we're going to grow through other people. We're going to become the trusted hub, the trusted source for all information related to mid-level professionals looking to grow their career, all information for small business owners, entrepreneurs looking for resources to tap into to help provide that insight and that next level platform or framework for helping them grow their business. That's what we're building here at Hustling 25-8. Again, thank you, family. I see TikTok is streaming in like crazy. Thank you, family. I'm sure I see the love. Instagram, I see you, family. LinkedIn always shows up for me. YouTube always shows up for me. And then Facebook, they're my quiet resource. They actually spend more time watching my videos than the other platforms right now. So hopefully that'll change sometimes in the future. Listen, if you feel like you'll be a good guest for one of my features, I want you to go to my newsletter page, go to the guest articles page, and submit your request. I have a button right at the bottom, submit your request. At the bottom of it, you'll see I created a framework of what I'm looking for. Like, I'm giving you some talking points now, but if you go to the newsletter, I created a framework of what I'm looking for. You or your business can be featured in one of my upcoming articles, right? So if that's important for you, you're looking for visibility, it's going to be so important. I will bring it up on air and I will talk about it as well, just like I'm doing now in my lives. I've been committed here in 2026 to do a live every single day, Monday through Friday, for the rest of this year. So get used to seeing my face here, because what am I doing? I'm building $1 million business. I'm growing a newsletter from $0 to $1 million in revenue and 50,000 subscribers. So if you're just now joining, you missed out. We're on episode 24. We have close to 6,000 people that have already signed up already. The newsletter is slowly starting to build momentum and gain credibility as insight. And now we're on the part of how do we effectively grow a subscriber base of 50,000. And today we're talking about guest articles and partnerships, how that should be a part of your strategy to help you get to where you need to be. It's okay to be a solo entrepreneur, but it's even better when you have collaborators and trusted sources that with your people, they can rock with and they can say, you know what, this guy is not just the fly by night. This guy is very connected and he knows what the hell he's talking about. So let's talk about the guest article process really quick. This is where you shift from being a creator to a publisher. Again, it doesn't have to be a newsletter. This can be your own personal website where I don't care what you do. You could be a med tech or a phlebotomist. I can't even say that right. You can be a clinician. Whatever you sell, make sure you have some type of guest features on there, because you don't want to just people to hear your voice. We want retention. We want people to find value in anything that we do. And oftentimes, they're going to find additional value when they see other voices and faces that are not just yours. So consider that strategy as well. And listen, you shouldn't just be accepting all submissions. Like me, I'm very finicky about the people that I would accept. You can go to my guest articles page. You can submit and see whether or not you will be accepted as a guest feature on one of my upcoming episodes. But I'm very picky because I'm shaping the outcomes of the messages and the insights that I'm giving to my audience. You know the role that you should play here? You want to clarify when you're looking at guest features, you want to clarify who your audience is, what are your audiences about, so your guest features, they know exactly who they're speaking to. Two, you want to guide the angle, meaning I want you to write specific articles about this, and here's the outcome that I wanted to talk about. The other thing too is you want to refine the message, right? Because we want to simplify our message because it don't need to be long-winded, but it does need to have some concepts. I see you, family. I appreciate you. Sender F, I appreciate you. Appreciate the family love. And the other thing too is you want to protect the reader's experience. I don't want people to frequent my site and feel like they're getting bored because they didn't find value in anything on there. In fact, everybody that has been hitting me up behind the scenes, if you haven't joined the newsletter, go check it out. It's tons of resources on there. And we're only 30 days into it. So, by the end of the year, that thing is going to be extra dope. So right now, we've just been building this out in public. And you can see the work that we've already put into it in 30 days so far. And hopefully you continue to find value at it because the love that I've been getting behind the scenes has been absolutely great. So what separates good from great guest content? We need to understand this. The great guest content teaches something replicable, like something that they can, a strategy, a framework, something that's plug and play. I can take this from Patrick. Patrick shared this, and then I can implement this tomorrow or today within my business. Readers should leave with a decision that they can make. They should leave with a behavior to change. They should leave with a step to try. They should leave with information that not only inspires, right? Because we know things that inspires you, it kind of disappears, it kind of goes away, but it instructs you, right, to do something, and it spreads. It's guest articles. You know what they should do? It's your people where people want to download it, they want to share it, they want to save it, they want to implement it, and then more important, people come back to your site because you keep providing value. So you want to think about that for your business. How can I incorporate guests or co-collaborators to be part of the mission to help change the dynamics of not only my audience, but provide tremendous value? So here's additional value right here. If you let's say you own your business, you own your website, you own your newsletter, and you get these guest articles that come in. Well, editing increases authority. People may give you a raw version of an article, and it seemed okay, but if you put some pretty touches on it, you add some extra value in it, it just makes it pop even more, right? So when your contributors, when they feel like their article has been improved by the way you edit it, they respect your platform even more. And then they want to share even more, right? So you need to understand this. When you're thinking about collaborating, when you're thinking about guest articles, partnerships, and actions, you want to think about that angle as well. Let me pause really quick and say this. If you feel like you'll be a good guest for one of my next features, you have an article, you have dope insights to share, go to my newsletter, go to the guest articles tab, submit your request in there. Right at the very bottom of that guest articles tab, it shows you exactly what I'm looking for. It shows you the framework I'm looking for. If you feel like your story, your outcomes meet that right there, go ahead and hit submit. It comes right to my inbox. I look at these every single day, and I will give you a response whether or not it makes sense. You may be somebody that you have a great story to tell, but you just don't know how to tell it. And maybe some editing on my part may help you get there as well. And so we'll help you get your story. But if you have a story to tell, you're trying to create some additional visibility for yourself and your business, and you're really good at putting it on paper, hit me up. Slide in my DMs right there, and make sure you go to the guest articles feature of the page, and then it just kind of give you the framework of what I'm looking for. So the partnership amplification, and I'm about to wrap this baby up. This is what you need to understand. When you're looking at partnerships, what does it become? It becomes the real flywheel. And if you've never heard this before, if you're a small business owner, entrepreneur, you've never heard the word flywheel. Flywheel is just the cadence of information that you share that takes your users, right, or people that sign up, your customers, on a journey. It goes from here to here to here to here to here. That's what the flywheel is designed to do. It's designed to take them from one place to the next place to the next place to the next place. The flywheel is designed to not only attract customers, but retain customers, right? So if you haven't looked up the word flywheel, go check that out and incorporate that into your business as well. Every business needs to have a good flywheel. The article is not the end product, right? So that's not what it's about. It's the raw material. You convert one article, and then here's how we're thinking as business owners. We can take one article that, one feature, we can turn it into a newsletter feature, We can turn it into multiple social media posts. We can turn it into short clips. We can turn it into discussion topics. We can turn it into future collaboration opportunities as well. Because here's the thing, nobody wants to feel left out. If you're like a creator, you're a small business owner, and you seeing like a like-minded individual like yourself, and then they're on somebody else's webpage, you're like, wow, how the hell did they get that opportunity? One, they requested that opportunity. They put themselves out there. You too can do the same, right? But it creates authority and visibility, not only for you, but for the featured place that you're actually being featured as well. So it's so important. You see a lot of these like creators out here, they getting featured on these Forbes, they get NBC News, they get featured on podcasts and all that. The only reason that they're doing it is because it creates visibility. This is what we're looking for. You create your visibility for yourself, and then great things can happen. In fact, listen, if you're first time here and you're like, damn, who is this guy? Dude, I'm an Army veteran, spent 6 years in the military, healthcare technology executive, sold a technology company at the end of 2018, became a full-time entrepreneur in 2023. Since then, I've done reality TV, I've done NBC News, I've been featured in major publications from around the world. And today, what am I trying to do? I'm just trying to give you the game, trying to help you understand how you can grow your personal brand and or your wealth through strategic activities. And so what we're doing all year, we're giving you the playbook. It's designed to help you elevate, see where you are, see where some of those gaps are, fill in those gaps, and then elevate accordingly. So we only kicked this baby off for like 30 days ago, right? And so if you go to the products page, you're like, man, Pat, you have some great products already, which has only been a handful of products that I've introduced right now. But if there's a specific topic or thing that's preventing your growth, slide in my DMs, let me know. And I may create a framework around that. And, if I get enough insight or demand for it, I create a framework specifically for you and every other like-minded people's like you, so we can help you get unstuck, fill in those gaps. All right. So what's the trusted transfer effect? Audiences see what's the trust transfer effect? Your audience sees that you trust the guest, right? So if you have guest features, it means it's somebody you generally trust, right? You know what your guests see? The guest begins to trust you because you trusted this person. And then the mutual validation reduces skepticism instantly. And that's what we're trying to get away from. You ever landed on a web page and you're like, man, what exactly is this all about? Should I even trust the information that's here? Like, we're trying to get away from that. And that's why guest features on your particular web page can help you out. And new subscribers, when they come in, they're coming in already warmer because now they're seeing proof sources of other trusted people who they've seen before. And now it brings down the wall and they trust you even more. So let's talk about the compounding partnerships. So some guests will return regularly. Some guests will introduce you to others. Other guests will look at co-creating products for you, which could be a game changer, a co-created product. And then one of the counter effects is people bring you speaking opportunities, right? All this can happen from having guests on your website, your newsletter, whatever it is. One good collaboration creates 5 unseen offers later. So you want to think about that. I see you, so and sister. I appreciate the love. Thank you, family. With that being said, chat boxes are open, okay? I'm coming to the end of my agenda right now. If you have questions, now's the time to drop those questions. But today we streamed across Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, as well as TikTok. Everybody's been showing love like crazy, which is dope, phenomenal. The newsletter has been growing like crazy. Listen, if you haven't signed up for that newsletter, do it today. We're growing that baby to $1 million in revenue. We're giving you the playbook step by step. The other thing too is we're creating a 50,000 subscriber ecosystem. Why are we doing this? Because when the algorithms change across these social sites, the subscriber base never changes. So you still have a baked in ecosystem of people who rock with you, people who support you, and these are also people who buy from you as well. And that's what you're looking to create. You're looking to create an ecosystem for yourself. So let me include this before I get out of here. You might reach out to somebody. Let's say you've identified somebody you would like to have on as a guest feature, and you might reach out to them and they hit you with no, right? A no is rarely a rejection. Okay, I want you to help with your mindset. It's rarely rejection. Sometimes it's just a timing thing. And people often return later when they see your consistency. So they want to know that you're really about it, right? And that you're consistent. And if they know you're really about it, then they come back to you and say, is that offer, does it still stand to be a guest feature on one of your episodes? And so get out of the mindset that it's rejection or your failure. It may just be a timing thing. Consistency turns cold contacts into future collaborators. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for people to collaborate with us. Listen, we're getting ready to be at time right here. I want to say this. Today was about amplification. Tomorrow's about conversion. Really, all this week has been about conversion. You've built your audience, or you're building your audience. You're building your credibility. Now you want to turn those conversations into customers, right? Because visibility creates attention. This is what we're going for. We're going for not only attention, but conversations create revenue. So first you start with that visibility and attention, then you turn those conversations into revenue for yourself. Listen, this has been another episode of Hustling 25-8. Today, what do we talk about? Today we talked about guest articles, and partnerships in action. This is a strategy that you may consider for your business if you haven't, but we're no longer trying to be a solo creator anymore. We want to amplify our message, our brand, and our awareness through trusted resources, meaning people, like-minded people like yourself. And the other thing, my last call to action here, if you think you would be a good feature for one of my upcoming articles, and you can go to my newsletter, sign up for the newsletter, go to the guest articles page, right? At the very, very bottom, there's going to be a submit button for your feature. It's also going to be a playbook of what I'm looking for, a framework of what I'm looking for. And if you can meet that, submit it to myself. I'll review it, and you may be featured in one of my upcoming episodes. And I will bring you up on one of these lives as well and say, today's feature is blah, blah, blah. So if you're looking for visibility for yourself and or your business, this is probably going to be the platform to get you there. Listen, thank you guys. I'm Patrick Hart, known as that healthcare guy. Make sure you continue to rock with your boy. Follow me if that's something that you like to do. My link is in my bio, QR code, top right-hand corner. And depending on what platform you're streaming from, there could be a floating banner that has my information as well. Thank you, family. Until tomorrow, let's keep hustling. Let's get it.